right, let's set it. Let's set a timer and see how this goes. All right, welcome to another build. Building a customer-provided PC. They brought in all the parts, so I'm getting all the parts built. It's $125 for me to actually do the build. So we'll start with the case. The case that we're in today is a Phantex Enthoo Pro. It's going to have an ROG Strix Z790H gaming Wi-Fi in it. We're going to be running an Intel Core i7 13700K. We are going to have a 1 terabyte and a 2 terabyte 990 Pro. It's going to have a 4070 Ti in it from Asus. The cooler is going to be a Kraken 2040 or 240s. It's from NZXT. Our power supply is a Superflower Leadex Vpro 850 watt power supply, titanium rated. And our memory is going to be Trident Z DDR5. This is DDR5 6000 CL32 memory. All right, this is a good, I don't want to say entry-level build. This is definitely not an entry-level build. This is another upper mid-range build. It is not the cheapest. It is not the most expensive. This will be good for just about anything. In contrast to the build I just got completed before this video, which you should go check it out. It's one of those directions. The build I did right before this was the Ryzen 7 50 or 7800 X3D. These are comparable systems. The CPU in this is a little bit weaker than that for sure. But overall, I think the cost on these is going to be roughly the same. So let's go ahead and dig into it. Let me see if this guy, he has not opened everything. So first things first, let's get this motherboard out of here. See what we got in here and do like a mini unboxing. Got our motherboard. This is our Wi-Fi. Going to need, comes with some zip ties. We use those. We have our M.2 standoff. Oh, that's kind of nice. It comes with a replacement pad for your M.2. And then there's just some additional, there's some like replacement VRAM pads, which is interesting as well. And we have our manual and some stickers. Let's get this bag put back in here. It's a nice looking board. It's got a, one thing that's a little bit weird is like it's got a little Velcro thing for something. I'm assuming that's supposed to be for cable management for the GPU.
Hey, thanks for checking out this video. If you like these videos, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel.
Made in Vietnam. All right, let's see. We should have a bunch of peels on here, so we gotta make sure we get them off. There's one peel. Two peels. Three peels. I think that might be it. Is there one on there? There is one on there. Four peels. Ooh, I instantly like this motherboard. It has the extended release. See? See it moving. Kind of nice. Yeah, I don't hate this board. So it was 5. Here's another one for 6. Is there gonna be one more that I'm gonna miss? 6. That looks like it. 6 peels. All right, we're gonna start by getting our CPU installed. Do a once over on everything as I'm going to put this in. Make sure we don't have any bent pins. All right, bottom of this looks pretty good. No damage, no visible damage here. Socket looks great. Down, down. All right, and that's on there. One of the first things that I would recommend as an upgrade for this, just looking at this, would be to get the Thermal Grizzly replacement plate. I'm going to be doing that to mine next year. I was going to get it for myself as a Christmas gift, but you know, it's Christmas, so I have to let my wife get me stuff. All right, we got that. CPU installed. Let's set the motherboard off to the side. We're going to need to look at the cooler, because if the cooler requires a specific bracket, we got to make sure we get that specific bracket on there. This guy out here. Now, if I remember right, this is a pump-in radiator design. I generally try and stay away from NZXT stuff. I've had bad experiences with them. Not saying that they're a bad company. It's just I personally try and stay away from them. All right, and it looks like immediately I am wrong. So this is the Asetek design. Packaging definitely looks nice. Where the pump is in the actual CPU mount. Let's zoom this out a little bit for this build. Welcome back. All right, we're gonna have to do a little bit of reading. We got fans. This is gonna be top mounted for sure, so we're gonna be looking to go like that. So when this sits in there, inside there, it'll be sitting like this. So we'll make sure we have the fans going to the back, so we have that. Now, we need to see exactly what we need to install for, so the socket 1700 is this one. So we're gonna make sure we pull out that. There's that. We will need these for sure. This is for Intel, that's for the AMD stuff. This is Intel 1700. I wonder what these are for. Oh, we're gonna need the thumb screws regardless, so interesting. Oh, it already has the Intel one on there. All right, set that off to the side. Set this box off to the side. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and get this out. 4 screws in. Gotta remember to continue talking because my brain is in get this done mode. All right, so we got those screws in. Now this guy, we looked at the manual, the LGA 1700. We have to make sure that they are pushed. All of these little feet things are pushed this millimeter all the way to the outside and not in the center. And then this sits very gently over the back. Ooh, this board has interesting holes in it. All right, and we have to use the standoffs for the LGA 1700, which apparently is a different pack of screws. Different pack of screws. All right. Well, that's a tight fit. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get that on there because I physically can't fit my hand back there. Okay. All right, like I said, I need to figure out exactly how I'm gonna get this back over here because my fingers are just a wee bit too big to actually thread this in over here. I have an idea, but I don't like my idea. That one's fine, and that's in there, that's in there, that's in there. Ugh, so yeah, we're gonna work smarter, not harder in this situation. All right, that's on there now. So we got that on there. We got this ready to install in the case. Let's pull out our full-size case now. And this is a, oh, you know what? Here, let's go ahead and toss these boys in here before that. Toss our SSDs in there. So because we have 2, we are going to do one obviously for the games and one for the operating system. Pull this off. Pull this off. Wonder, remove cushion before installation. Interesting. Never seen that. I know why it's there, but I've never actually just seen it. All right, so this guy's gonna have a problem almost immediately. I gotta remove the heat shield on this. All right, I guess Oh man. So alright, so that's a 5-star. We're gonna see if we can pull off these heat sinks. Because with these heat sinks on here, these hard drives, these SSDs, aren't going into this computer. Well, let's see how easily this heat sink comes off. Hopefully easy. And then we can just slap this down in there and use the integrated stuff in here. Otherwise, I'll just leave that off. Hey, what do you know? It's not easy. Alright, let's grab a spudger. Start trying to separate this. Wow, that stuff's on there. There's that. Now, is it going to be just as difficult to get it off at the bottom? Of course. Why would it be easy? Well, there's one. And as always, we got to remember to pull this. I got to do this all again. So there's the one. And we'll put this back together. Give it back to him and say, hey, congratulations. You now have a spare heatsink. You're going to have 2 in total. I guess let me give you a little history lesson. Back in the day, motherboards used to come with 4 or 5 separate PCI slots. The reason we've seen such a drastic reduction in PCI slots on motherboards is to accommodate M.2s, because they can run faster connected closer to the CPU, but it takes up the same physical lane space as the PCI slots used to. So to combat that, all they did is started removing PCI slots. Otherwise, boards would have had to have gotten more complex, thicker. Like there's a lot of negatives to it if they would have kept it. And the positives of it, though they've gotten rid of it, we get less cables in the PC and we get faster storage options. No, that's not what that means. Basically, what you can do is you can take, like there's I can't remember what motherboard it was. There was a motherboard that I completed recently where it had a total of 5 NVMe slots. So all it means is that populating the storage portion of the motherboard takes up a single lane. That's all that means. So like if you, let's say you had 3 down here, all 3 of those would take up a single lane. Because you can have multiple on a single lane. All right, and then we need to remove this. And actually, there are 1, 2, 3 on this. Because there's one under, there's 4 on this. There's 1 under here. And then there's another 2 under here. And with this one, I could have probably left the bottom on here. Nah. Put that down. Swipe it over. Make sure we pull this. Pull this off of here, as always. And then right there, right there. And there's 2. So we got those installed now. Okay, next we need to, like I said, this is the big part. We're gonna pull up our Enthoo case, and looking at this full-size case, this is gonna be a top-mounted radiator. So let's stand this up. And actually, I have to lay this back down almost immediately because it doesn't look like... yep, we got 3 screws on the rear. Oh, I need to figure out how to remove this top then. Definitely remove those screws for no reason. All right, let's put those screws back in. It looks like the whole top of this case can be removed, which is actually kind of interesting. Phantex has... I knew like their cases were modular. Just didn't realize they were this modular. That, and then we'll go ahead and just pop this back panel off. So first things first, you know what, I think this radiator is going to be a tight fit just looking at this. First things first, let's get the radiator screws ready to go, because as always we have washers. Make sure we use them. I am wildly uncomfortable with how short these screws are for the top of this thing. Well, let's see how this, like look how short that screw is. That's not safe. I wonder if they want you to route if they want the fans on the outside of the case. But if you were to do what I'm about to do, how would you do that? All right, let's put this so with a washer on there. I don't think this is actually going to thread in. That's like a thread. This is so sketchy. Yeah, I don't like. He's gonna have thermal issues, and I'll let him know that. That if he starts seeing thermal throttling like super quick, he needs to get a different radiator, because this thing, this is gonna be a 13700K, which is what I have, and that thing pumps heat even through my 360 custom loop. So I'll let him know that should be his first upgrade on this. These short screws are not ideal. I'm just gonna keep saying that. I dislike them. All right, that's on there. Another thing I'm not a huge fan about with this is this not removable. So to clean this thing you're gonna end up taking this whole panel off. All right, let's put that back on there. That's ready to go. Next, we're gonna pull out our accessories box, and we're gonna need motherboard screws. We're gonna get the motherboard mounted in there. So let's go ahead and lay this down. That. All right, motherboard screws should be these boys. Let's find out. All right, so there's that. And next, we are going to attach the radiator to the motherboard. And then we have to figure out the cabling situation, because this does not actually come with any cabling out of the box, like plugged in directly to it. So we're gonna go like that. And this guy's gonna come kind of off that way. And then as a reminder with these, always we go finger tight, and then when we screw them in, we tighten them down until they stop. And you use hand tools for these. You don't use like an impact wrench or something. And of course, the one that's almost impossible to get to, and there we go. Air gun, yeah. Hook it up to, give me 150 psi, and there we go. Just hand tight, hand tight, hand tight. All right. Now let's pull out our cable. This uses a single cable solution for everything, which is nice. There's no control box. It just plugs directly into a USB and SATA power. So coming off of, we have a single connector for the pump. We're going to plug in our fan header, which one of these is CPU optional, CPU fan, all in one pump. So these cables are going to get routed up and out behind the radiator this way, and we'll grab those in a second. But this cable actually going to come down, start doing our cable management now. There, and might need to look at the motherboard manual and see which one of these is actually the all-in-one pump, because the plugs are the same connector, and then it just has they're the same color, and it just has the words all-in-one pump next to both of them. Nope, chassis fan 2. All right, cool. So it's this one. All right, and that goes like that. So we have beginning cable management done. So we have that. We have that. And then we're going to need, we have SATA power here, which goes to the fans here, because that goes to that fan and then this fan back here. And then we have our SATA, which is going to come up here. And yeah, so let's see how this looks. Let's see how far away this cable is actually going to be from where it needs to be. All right, it's perfect. All right, let's look at our cables off of the case. All right, so as you can see, we're starting to get there. Next, let's flip this over. Let's get our memory in there. Yeah, sure, you can ask what RAM this is, because I'm installing it now. This is DDR5 6000 CL36. And as this is your daily reminder, when you're installing memory in a computer, make sure you follow the motherboard manufacturers in like recommended locations for your RAM sticks. It's never 1 and 2. It's usually 2 and 4. All right, next, let's go ahead and get our GPU installed, our 4070 Ti. This is going to be an interesting. The CPU won't fit in this case. A full-size case that will not support this video card. Like, I kind of meant it as a meme, but like, I legit don't think this thing is gonna fit. We're gonna find out. All right, so now we got to do some interesting modifications here. I know these racks come out. Let's see if by removing these racks and the hardware for these racks, we can get this GPU in there. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell this guy, hey bro, I got some bad news for you. That comes out. Take that screw out. Take this screw out. So we took out all the hard drive stuff, and this is where we hope by removing all of this that was over here, this will fit in this case. Like, what a world we live in where this is like just a normal size GPU. There's 3 peels, 4 peels, 5. Here's peel number 6. 14 individual peels on one video card. All right, this is the moment of truth right here. Like, if you want to have a hard drive rack in this, you're not using one of these video cards. That's just a weird design choice. And somehow this is only a 2-slot card. I thought it was a 3-slot card. This reminds me of that XFS we just did. Like, this case is not designed for modern anything, really. I mean, look at this. I'm trying to put this in, and the actual screw holes for this are actually like inaccessible. And it's not just like my screwdriver or something. It's just this is actually like an actual terrible design. Like, I actually don't blame the video card. I don't blame the motherboard manufacturer. I'm blaming Phantex on this one. This is crap. I will never recommend this case to someone. Like, sure, maybe as like a server build, but like as a gaming PC build, absolutely not. All right, last piece, which has to go down here on the front. We have our Superflower power supply. I'm just thinking about this. Pretty sure this power supply isn't going to come with the 12-volt high power. But we will see. So So we know we need one SATA. And PCIe, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna find the adapter. I hope this thing came with an adapter. Yes, it did. And we're gonna need trace. We're gonna need 3 PCI power. VGA, VGA, and then we need our CPU, and we need our motherboard, and I'm gonna toss the other CPU on this because I know how power demanding this thing can be. What did I do with all the screws? I just had them and now I've lost them. Oh, they're in this box. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, as usual, we're gonna downward, this will be mounted down here like this. It's an interesting shape on this, but one thing we're gonna have to keep in mind with this is, 1, making sure this cable's plugged in all the way, and then 2, making sure it's gonna clear this side panel, because you don't want to kink these things at like a 90. Yeah, this isn't gonna look good, because all of our cables are gonna go through there. What do we got here? We got our CPU. I don't even know if this is gonna reach. So that one's, let's get all these cable ties off first. All right, so we're gonna have our VGA 1, that we're gonna start whipping out zip ties now. We got VGA 1, VGA 2, and VGA trace. All right, now we're going to zip it a tie these guys together. We want this coming this way. We don't want to go, like, my whole thing is I don't want to put a lot of strain on this cable, because my luck with these things has been hit and miss. Which, as you can see, actually the card comes all the way to here. Like, you can see it underneath the corner of this case. That is not some sort of mount or something. It's just this case is not like this card length. And this is like a mini server case. All right, and we're gonna go out, even though the power supply is gonna be right there, we're gonna go out these management holes, because, you know, you gotta do things right, or don't do them at all. All right, next, let's grab our CPU. We're gonna put 2 CPUs up here. This is a pretty power hungry CPU, so no use putting only the one. So you guys won't be able to see this part, but you'll be able to see the cable come out the back. Let's get the power supply installed. And again, we mount it always fan down. All right, that should be the last screw that goes into that. Let's get all these cables plugged in. All right, so we're all wired up and ready to go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cable manage this, get the last of these cables plugged in on the back. As you can see now, we have cables going everywhere, and we actually have cable management slots for it, so. All right, let's see what she looks like. Oh, there's no RGB on this. So we'll just go right to screen cap. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/SpecVengeance. And yeah, if you want to learn more about my services, check out Bradenton PC Repair.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.